Hey guys, Gary here, back at you with another episode. And you know, on my channel, I like to talk about different ways to make money. Well, on this episode, I'm here to answer some questions that were asked about our social copier. Now, if you don't know what a social copier is, that's an account that you can create, a trading account, and which you can connect to a master trade account. And what happens is every trade that the master trader takes, your account will copy those trades.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yes, every time the master trader account takes a trade, your account will copy those trades. How you like that? Well, we are launching a social copier, and there's been a number of questions that's been asked, and this video is set out to answer some of those questions. But if you don't know, we created a part 1 episode that shows you how to create a free user account. And we also created a part 2 episode that shows you how to transfer funds from your wallet to the social copier, create an investment account, and then connect it to the master trade account. So I'll leave the links in the descriptions below. So if you haven't done so, make sure you watch those videos so you can learn how to. Well, again, in this video, there's been a number of questions asked, and you may even have some of the similar questions. But the goal is to inform the end user so that you can make an intelligent decision on which way you want to go. There's a lot of excitement, and we have people from London, we have people from Hawaii, people from South Africa, and even in the US and all around on this call. I had a live Zoom call to answer questions about social copier. Well, without further ado, let's listen in and also watch the demonstration so you can know and learn about the numbers, the fees, and different situations, pros and cons, and so on and so forth. So let's get started. Let's watch and listen in. And hopefully we can get your questions answered. People who are informed, and who have clarity and make an educated, informed decision. So here we have this spreadsheet, and I went through this spreadsheet with the broker that I created it, and I wanted to show it to them. And make sure we're on the same page. The reason why we're launching the copier on the first is for all those reasons I mentioned, working out the kinks, understanding the fees before we launch, but also, as I'll describe here, based on the starting point of the master account balance, everything will start from there, meaning that if the master account starts with $1,000 balance and the minimum amount required to connect to it is $500, if a person put $500 in their account will be half the amount that the master account is starting with as of the day that the account is starting to trade. So what the system does is it keeps everything in proportion as far as lot size and dollar value. So if the master trader takes a trade at a standard lot size, which is $10 a pip, then the persons who have an account balance at $500, their account will trade at $5 a pip. It would choose a 0.5 lot size, okay, because it's taken in proportion. It doesn't want to over leverage your account by choosing a $10 pip lot size on your account, in the sense that what if trades go backwards, like not in the direction that we're looking to profit? It would take, if we went back 10 pips, then it'd be $100, until hopefully, I don't like the hope and prayer strategy, but until the account turns around, it would be like $100 in drawdown. That will only be it'll only be 10% of $1,000, but it'd be 1/5 of the 500, which is more than 10%. So it would put the person with a $500 balance at a greater, I guess, leverage or over leverage and more higher risk. So given that the account is currently at 1,400, if we were to start, say, September the 1st, it might be at 2,000 by then. and that will put this at 2,000. A person starting out with $500, it would now make their lot size even smaller. So it might be like 0.25 that their account would trade at instead of 0.5. And the $2,000 account could withstand more drawdown than a $500 account. So the people who are part of the educational platform who going to have since first mover advantage to connect, in addition to all the benefits and discounts that they'll receive, you'll be able to start approximately the same time with the same value of the master account. Those who come later, who wants to get started at $500, and let's say the master account is at $3,000, you see will start to happen. If the master account choose a dollar lot size, then it would make their, $10 lot per pip lot size, it would make their dollar value much lower because it's now a 3 to whatever, 3 to 6, like it's a 6-to-1 ratio at that point in time. Okay, so that's one of the important things to note. Now, what I'm going to do now is walk through 4 scenarios of how things will play out with the fees, so that you could get a clearer picture of how the fees work. And what Mark was just asking us was about transferring money to Carbon Capital, not transferring money from your Carbon Capital wallet over to your investment account that you will connect to the Social Copier master account. Okay, so that was something separate. That was a different type of fee that we were referring to. Here, the broker commission, there's a commission that is paid to the broker every single time a trade is taken. Okay, every single time a trade is taken, the broker receives a commission. And a broker commission for the master trade account with the Social Copier and the Social Copier platform is 2 pips. Whatever lot size is chosen to trade by for that particular account, the broker makes 2 pips once the trade is closed. So they make 2 pips every single trade that's open once the trade closed. So if the master account trades at $10 a pip, 2 times 10 will be $20, because that's what the broker's going to get, 2 $10 pips. So they're going to make $20 once that trade is closed. Now, therefore, in order to be profitable, the account must cover that plus 1 pip to be the bare minimum. So 3 pips is the bare minimum that needs to be covered in order to be in profit, net profit. And that's one thing I had to, go through, because I would profit, but then I would see the account balance still go down. That's because if you say profit $10, like in your profit on your toolbar, you say, okay, I'm just going to close this out at $10 profit. But you see $10 taken out of your total balance. You're like, what happened? That's because you did profit $10, but now the broker gets its $20 commission. So that $10 that you profit goes to the broker, plus the other $10 comes from your balance account. It all comes from your balance total, but that's just a way to visually, see what I'm referring to. They made $20, you earned $10, but it was less than the total fee that would be charged, okay, as far as the broker fee. So now we know the minimum that must be covered is 3 pips, okay, in order for there to be profit, net profit, to the traders. Okay, everybody's connected to the account. Now, if you had $1,000 account, like the master copier account, master trade account, then if 3 pips were earned, that would be $30 earned. If it's $10 a pip, the broker gets their $20, their 2 pips, and there's $10 net before the performance fee at the end of the week. The performance fee is 15%, so $10 was profited. So the master trader earns $1.50, from that, and then you'll be left with $8.50. So that's on the bare minimum on earning 3 pips in just one trade. That's it. You made $8.50. If your account balance was $5, the same scenario, you would have made $4.25. Broker would have got $10 instead of 20. Net before performance fee, you would have made $5. The performance fee would have been 75 cents at the end of the week, and you would have took home $4.25. That would have just been added to your account. Now, that's just one trade at 3 pips in profit. Now, we took that same scenario and multiplied it by 5 trades in a week. Net wise, after the broker commission, you would have had $25. Then the performance fee, 15%. Master trader made $3.75. You would have made $21. You know, after 5 trades in 1 week, you would have took home $21. And then in 4 weeks, at that same scenario, at just 3 pips, that's all we're doing is 3 pips. Really, it's just 1 pip that you actually earn. You per trade in 5 trades a week. Then in 4 weeks, that would have been $85 profit. Now, if you had a $1,000 account, that would have been $170 profit on top of your $1,000, on top of your $500. So that's just the bare minimum, which comes out to be a total of 17%, you know, that you would have earned on a bare minimum of being in net profit of 1 pip for 5 trades a week for 4 weeks. You would have been up 17%. You would have made $85, and $85 is 17% of $500. So your total balance will be $585. Now, that's just looking at your bare minimum. The master trade Copier account covering at least 3 pips per trade, 5 trades a week, 4 weeks in the month. Now, if we just stepped it up and went to 10 pips, then we're not going to go through that whole scenario again, but you can see what the broker fee would be. You can see what the performance fee would be, you know, at the end of the week. That's just a weekly fee. The broker's fee is every single trade. Now, at the end of the week, at 10 pips per trade profit, you would have made $170. If you had a $500 balance, you would have made $340. If you had a $1,000 balance. And then after 4 weeks, you would have had additional $680 on top of your $500, or additional $1,360 on top of your $1,000. If you're getting value out of this, can you do me a huge favor? Can you smash that like button, click subscribe, and ring the notification bell? That way you can get informed when other videos like this are uploaded. Thank you, boss. You rock. Now let's get back to it. That's 136% return. Okay, you made your 500 plus an additional $180. You made your $1,000 plus an additional $360. So it's 136% return. That's at getting 10 pips per trade, 5 trades a week over 4 weeks. Okay, so that's those scenarios. This scenario right here basically saying, okay, instead of it being a standard lot size of $10 a pip and a person with a $500 account getting a lot size of 0.5, this going even lower and saying if the master copy account had a 0.25, which is $2.50 per pip for their trade that they chose, then the $500 person will be trading at $1.25 a pip. And these will be the numbers for the bare minimum of 3 pips or for 10 pips. That will be the amount that will be earned. And this was made up, 1, to get clarity on the numbers and confirming with the broker, 2, so that it can be explained thoroughly, but 3, as the master trader, to now have a clear understanding that when trades are taken, unlike trades been taken in an existing account, that because sometimes it wasn't 3 pips, you know, it was just trading and just profit and taken out, but there was some losses because of the broker commission. You know, even though it's profitable on a screen in green, now is clarity that it got to be 3 pips. So if it was like $6 or $10 shown on the screen as profit, That could have been 1 pip. That could have been 2 pips. But then you need another $6 or another, $12 in profit to really add to the account instead of taking away from the account. Okay. So now we had that clarity. So between 3 to 10 pips, is the gauge per trade. 3 to 10 pips. 3 to 10 pips will be $30 to $50 in profit per trade before fees are taken out. As we said, be between $30 and $50 per trade. Okay, so if 30, not 30 and 50, 30 and $100, $30 and $100 profit per trade. And hopefully you were able to see that that is possible, as a number of the profits that were made in the existing account, which is for practice purposes in a sense, and testing purposes, there were a number of trades that were over $100 in profit. So going after $30 to $100 per trade in profit, and that will return between $170 to $1,360 per month. If we get any, additional trades in, great. If we get beyond $100, great. But that just keeps it simple, to go after $30 to $100 in profit per trade, 5 trades a week, over, every week. That will be the gauge. Now, I'm not saying that will happen that way. It could happen less on some weeks. It can happen much more on other weeks. We don't know what the market will do and how the trading will go 100%. But you have an idea, and also the trader, master trader, myself, have an idea of what needs to be done and executed. Okay, so anybody have any questions about these fees, about the scenario, questions, comments, concerns about this so far?
Can you please explain? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just asking about scenario 2. I did get scenario 1 where you were saying something about the 3 pips, but can you just go over briefly the scenario 2 again, please? Thank you.
Sure. Scenario 2, if 10 pips was earned instead of 3 pips, then a person with a $500 account, 10 pips at $5 means $5 per pip. So it's 10 pips, that'd be $50 that was profited. The broker get 2 pips. So it was $5 a pip, so 2 times 5. So the $500 account was trading at $5 per pip. So 2 of those pips, 2 of those $5 go to the broker. So the broker will get $10. What's left is 50 minus 10, which is $40. Now, at the end of the week, there's a 15% performance fee that goes to the master trader. So the master trader would get $6 out of that $40. And what would be left for the person who had the $500 account would be $34. That's on 1 trade that profited 10 pips. So after fees, they would bring home $34 on top of their $500. Now, we take the same scenario in 1 trade, and we say, instead of just 1 trade, what if we did this 5 times in 1 week? Okay, and then what happens after 4 weeks? So 5 times in 1 week, that'd be broker commission would have been $50 because they would have did 10. It was 5 trades. Each trade they would have earned $10. So the broker would have had $50. The subtotal, we have 40. That's 5 times the subtotal up here that you would have brought home before the performance fee. So 5 times 40, you would have been at $200 at the end of the week if 5 trades were taken. And then 15% of the 200 will go to the master trader, which would be $30. And you would be left with $170. You would have earned $170 at the end of that week, on top of your $500. Now, after 4 weeks, all we're doing is multiplying this times 4. After 4 weeks, you earn $170 each week. Then on top of your $500, you would now have an additional $680 on top of your $500 after 4 weeks. And these are the numbers for a person who has $1,000 in their account. They would have had $340 at the end of 1 week, 5 trades done in that 1 week. And then after 4 weeks, that 340 times 4, they would have an additional $1,360 in their account net after fees on top of their $1,000. So it'd be a total of $2,360 in their account. And a person with $500 would have a total of $1,180 in their account. Okay, so this is the weekly amount,
Okay.
and then this is the monthly amount.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mhm. Okay.
Hi, Gary. It's
Yeah.
Colette. So I came
Yeah,
in a little late, so I wanted to know, why are we looking at these scenarios? Are we to select which one we want, or are you just showing possibilities?
Now I'm just helping you understand the fees that are involved and based on account balance that you choose to connect with, to start with. The minimum that you can connect to the social copier is $500. We'll talk about the social copier that's going to be launched on September the 1st. You can connect to it at $500 minimum, but the master trade account will start at $1,000. And we're showing the different scenarios, helping you understand the numbers, broker commissions, performance fees, what's the potential if you had $500 account versus if you had $1,000 account, and showing you the difference in the lot size and dollar values that are going to be traded based on the amount you have in your account compared to what the master copier has in the master copier account. So that's what we're looking at, so you could get clarity and understanding. And one thing I didn't mention, maybe I did mention about the reason why it's $500 minimum is not to discourage anybody or to, exclude anybody. It's because that's to protect your account and give you some wiggle room for those who have $500 in the account for drawdown. You got to have enough money in your account so your account won't get blown, or go to zero, because $1,000 account or more can withstand more drawdown for price to turn around and go in the direction of the trade than a lower amount account. So people who have minimum requirements of $100, they either super duper really, really good, or a number of those people are getting out of the box from drawdown, or the profits are minimum. The focus here and the vision here is for you to actually make some money, some tangible money, some money that actually feels like extra money that you're earning. That's why the master copier account actually trades at $10 a pip. Rarely does it trade at $2.50 a pip. Seldomly, sometimes it might trade at $5 a pip, but normally, generally, it trades at $10 a pip. So therefore, given that's the case, the person with $500 in their account their account will be trading at $5 a pip. So these will be the numbers. And hopefully that helps clarify what we're doing here. Have another question?
Yes, regarding since you've been trading for this month and your master copier account is 1,000, I think you were saying September 1st, your master account would be around 2,000. Is that right?
When I say it was, what we're doing is we're resetting the account back to 1,000 because if we kept going with the master copier account and it keeps growing, that's going to be a disservice or put people at a disadvantage who starts at $500.
All right. So in September, then I don't have to meet up 2,000 to get the optimal.
No, correct.
That's because I was wondering, it's like, okay, well, does that mean that September 1st, then to be in the best position to catch it, I would have to be at 2,000, but that's not the case. I can be at 1,000.
Correct.
To match your what you're trading with. So
Correct.
and then, but I can always put more if I want to, but at least a minimum of 1,000 to be on the same page that you are, where your balance is to get optimal results.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
All right, thank you, Gary.
That's a good question, and I'm glad I was able to clarify that. Anybody have any other questions, comments, concerns? If you could think of something, feel free to interrupt. I will not be offended whatsoever. I know questions come. Sometimes you be thinking, and sometimes stuff pops out of your head. You're like, oh, but it happens. So though these are the actual real numbers, given these amount of pips earned, between 3 to 10 pips per trade earned, and these will be the numbers. So if you looking at a gauge of, how much you could be earning, with these scenarios, like I said, this will be the weekly amount, based on 10 pips. This will be the weekly amount based on 3 pips. And this could be a range in between there, and then on a monthly amount, you're looking at the bottom numbers based on the account balance that you start out with. With that being said, do you guys have any additional questions, comments, and concerns? Because I want to make sure that everybody is clear and educated so that you can make your decisions with comfort. I don't want anybody to be confused. We want to do this with decency and in order, and make sure we keep open the lines of communication. So I want to communicate, which is why I showed you the trade results, that there will be wins and there will be losses. That happens all the time, okay? That happens all the time. It's a part of trading. But of course, the end result is profits. You want to make sure you're profiting. So if you have a sense that profits is possible, then connect to the account. If you don't like the results, don't connect to the account. I will not be offended. I will still continue to trade, but profits and losses are possible. That's one thing I want to make sure that I convey, but I also wanted to convey the numbers and how everything is determined. So when you are looking at your profits and now you want to withdraw your money, you're like, I thought I had this amount of money. Why I can't take this out? It's because you got to take into consideration of the broker's fee. You got to take in consideration of performance fee, and then what you'll be left at. So you can now have a better understanding, and you won't feel like you've been had or taken advantage of, or they rob you or take your money because you wasn't informed. So as long as you are informed, now you know what to expect, and you won't feel surprised. Yes.
One question. So what is the recommended time slot or time period to take profit? Is it after a week or 2 weeks or a month? What?
I can't say a recommended time, but I will recommend to take profit.
Yeah.
So the thing, all I can say to that really is, if you are looking to, at least if you see as we move forward that your accounts are producing these results, and these are the numbers that you can gauge at, you feel free, if you want to just stay at that, then you could take those profits and keep your $1,000 in there, and you'll still have those scenarios. Otherwise, if you could take more, and then your account could drop down to 500, and you'll be trading at $5 a pip, at that particular case, or less, because if the master account is never withdrawing from the account and the account is growing to 5,000, 6,000, then anybody with a lower account will be trading at 10 cents a pip by then. Okay. So not sure which going to happen. Maybe, if the master account withdraws the money and leave 1,000 in there, then people who had 1,000 and now they got 3,000 or 4,000 in their account, when the master copy takes a trade of $10 a pip, those 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 accounts are taking a lot size larger, which is still going to be in proportion because they're 2 times larger or 3 times larger than the master trade account. So their lot size dollar amount will be larger, but it will still be proportionate with the master trade account. So all of those things you got to think about and consider.
Right. Okay. So it can continue to grow if you just leave it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you are in this to make money. I would not shy away from that. You are in this to make money and to take profit. And I will recommend that you take profit so you can
Yeah.
like, okay, the best thing, this the probably if I wanted to give some recommendations, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But what I would recommend to be in a happy space
Yes.
is once your account doubles,
Yes.
you could remove your initial investment. I always look at things that way. You could remove your initial investment. Now, everything outside of that is play money, is house money. You can't lose because you have your initial investment out. Now, nobody can take your money. It says in your account is your money. I don't have access to it. You know, it's there. I don't even know that is you probably. It's just an account number. You know, I just see how many followers, subscribers that connected to the account. I don't know who they are. So I would say that would be a good rule of thumb. Once your account doubles, you could take that out, and then now your profit is making profit, you know, instead of your money being leverage or risk.
Got it.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
So you have, oh, sorry. So you have to have at least a minimum to stay active of $500 in the account in order to be making profits with the copier, the master copier.
No, that is, I asked that question as well. You need a minimum of $500 to get started, but you can have less than $500 in your account thereafter.
Oh, okay.
The only thing is your lot size will be traded at a lower number compared to the master copy account. That's all it is. Everything is going to be proportionate to whatever the master copier has in its account and whatever lot size that the master copy account is trading at.
And Gary, you're only going to reset the account once. That's on September 1st, correct?
Well, let me say, anything is possible. I don't know what's best. You know, if it's best that we reset the account every month to 1,000, who knows? Maybe that's best. Maybe that's not best. That's something to think about. That's a good question. But for people to see $3,000 equity in an account, you know, could be like, wow, this account is growing beyond all the other accounts. But I do notice the other accounts are all around $1,000 and something dollars, you know, as far as equity in the account was in the accounts. I can speak to the broker, get some advisors from there, because when I trade this account, I've made a conscious decision to say this is the people's money. This is not Gary trading Gary account, how Gary trades, because Gary could take higher risks at times. That's why I said between $30 to $100 in profit per trade is what we're going for in this account. But Gary can do Gary things in Gary account sometimes. But this is the people's money. So you want to trade for the people and have the people accounts profit, because that's what's important is profit. You want to see profit, 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 profit. That's what you want to see. So give the people what they want to see, you know, and play conservatively, safe, exit out in profit. That's important. 3 to 10 pips, $30 to $100 per trade is the goal, the vision, the focus. You know, anything beyond that is, you know, super duper, but that's just to keep it healthy and safe and consistent, you know, and systematic, I would say. But resetting at 1,000 every month, who knows? I don't know. Is that how you guys feel about that? You know, it might be a good thing.
That sounds good, Gary, because if the first scenario where you said, you know, to get out of risk, if you put 1,000 in and it doubles, then you take that 1,000 back and your account continues growing, then I won't be kind of matched up with you at that point.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I'll get a disadvantage somewhat.
That's good. That's good stuff.
So if it's a reset, then I'll be fine.
That's
Are
good.
you planning on doing 5 trades per week, every week, roughly?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the plan. This is the vision, the gauge, the go-to. Now, of course, the numbers are perfect. People aren't. So as you've seen in those trades, you've seen some $122 profits, some $145 profits, in a trade. So it could be better. It could be worse, but this is a range. I'm sure those trades fall within this range on the average, on the average. So in some cases, here's the thing, the gauge or the focus or the goal is 5 trades a week, with these numbers for profit going after $30 to $100 per trade in profit. But if we take a lesson in a trade, I'm going to recover that, so it might take a 6 or 7 trade, half of the amount to profit on both sides to recover that lesson, so it could turn out to be more than 5 trades, but the goal is 5 trades. The system is 5 trades. The focus is 5 trades a week, going after profit. Sometimes price do some funky things on you and you can't predict it. You can't control it. So you have to exit out. This is the people's money. I would rather exit out at a $10 loss, which turns into either a $20 or $30 loss from your balance because of the broker fee. They get the money regardless if it's profitable or not, to then come back and make 80 bucks. I like that scenario than to try to stay in there for, to price turn around if it does. And if it doesn't, now you're in a deeper hole. So, this is the people money. Gary got to trade for the people. So that's always going to be the mindset. And I want you guys to understand it. So if you see a red number, just say, okay, it was exited out with good reason and with good faith, to protect and to preserve the capital, but overall at the end of the week, check and see what the results are.
I have an opposite idea on the resetting each month.
Go for it. I love different inputs. That's awesome. What we got here?
Okay, from me, of course, we want to see how everything, goes on a consistent basis. But if it's profitable, then if I want to double up my account, let's say if I want to add 2,000 or 3,000, because I'm like, okay, well, this is profitable. It's definitely way more you're getting in the bank, and I want to pull out more money, and I don't mind investing more money. So then rebooting every week doesn't seem like that will be profitable for me. No offense. So it just depends on, of course, how everything goes. And, if you, I don't know what the other accounts do, so I don't have anything to go on. But I would assume, like most things, like even when we're trading, the higher account we have, the more drawdown you can make, the more money you can make. Now, at the same time, you still want to pull out profit because, again, most of these are unregulated brokers that we're using, and our money is not secure. But I still don't want to feel like, $1,000, that's not really a big investment. You know what I mean? If you're really trying to make money with, with different things that you're doing. So that's my thoughts. So I just want to have an opposite opinion because that's my thought.
Now, what I can say to that, and I understand what you're saying, what I can say to that is, in the event that you were considering, like you said, doubling up instead of having 1,000 to have 2,000, then that would be similar to just not withdrawing your monies out. If you started with 1,000 and then you profited 1,000 by the end of the month, you can actually now leave that in there. And if the master account resets to 1,000, now you at 2x of the master account. So when the master account trades at $10 a lot size, $10 a pip, your account is trading at $20 a pip. So you're getting twice the results. So that, 2x's or 3x's your account. So it still works. It still works. The only thing you're doing different is just keeping your money in there instead of taking it out.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like that.
All right. So that scenario may be doable if everybody likes it. Hey, this is for the people. This trading for the people. This is the people's account.
I like that scenario, Gary. The reset at 1,000.
Okay.
Reset at 1,000. I'm on board for that one.
I like
Okay.
scenario number 2. I like scenario number 2.
Okay. So scenario number 2 is keeping the funds in there and it 2x's, you know, and while the master account resets at 1,000. So that allows for it to 2x because you keep your money in there and the master account, you know, go back down to 1,000. No, just with these scenarios that we're given. Okay, so see, this is what I'm saying. This is healthy conversation, so you can understand the numbers, you understand what's going on, and you can understand the scenarios and the options that you have. But if you don't have the information and you don't have clarity, then you're at a disadvantage. And I don't want to provide a disservice to you. So I wanted to be a disservice to you. So, and so far so good. I think we all, you know, on the same page. Anybody had anything else that they wanted to add or ask or comment about?
Just to say that if you do not reset the master account to the 1,000, then new people coming in will be at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because of the lot size, so they would not be able, their minimum amount would be most likely greater than 500.
It would need to be in order for them to be, you know, apples to apples or at least 50% of the master account.
Yeah. So okay.
So all roads seem like it's leading to resetting the master account on a monthly basis to 1,000.
Yes.
We took a vote.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anybody disagree? Anybody out there who's on the other end like, nah, I don't like that. You know, I thought you was going to do it this way. Like, that's not, I don't know. I don't want to be an eyeball or devil's advocate, but you know, every opinion matters. Everybody input matters, you know, because this is the people's money. This is the people's account. You know, that's what it is. So, you know, your input counts, your vote matters. Okay. All right. Well, if not, if you think of something, by all means, you know, interrupt. Now, that is our social copier. I'm going to actually create a video. There are no videos out there. The broker actually pointed this out to me. Let me find it. Okay. Down here, under helpful videos in your back office, it was helpful videos, and it was another one. Under helpful videos, he said, make sure you guys watch how to copy trades. Watch that. I haven't watched it yet, but he said, watch how to copy trades. And the other one is about risk management. So that's the plan of action. You guys can watch those videos. I still will be creating a video on how to connect, and you can plan accordingly on how you want to proceed. Other than that, I would say have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you, Gary.
That's good.
Same to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Don't go yet.
Okay, good night.
All right. So there you have it, guys. What are you waiting for? Click one of the links in the description below, and let's get started today.